Hello, I am VV and today I've got a video response to Bangkokian1967, and he asked us to name a few hidden gems from the 90s. There are 8 questions. I did do a VR to his 80s questions and I totally forgot about this one till now, so I'm a little bit late getting on this. I will put a link to the original video below, so I definitely encourage you to go and check that out and consider doing a VR yourself. I don't remember seeing anybody else do a VR, so it'd be good to hear everybody else's answers. Like last time, there are 8 questions. These are all based around the 90s. So number 1, a hidden gem movie. I'm going to go with a film from 1993. In fact, I didn't do this on purpose, but a lot of my answers seem to be from 1993. But yeah, hidden gem movie, I'm going to go with a film that I like a lot. It's called Bad Boy Bubby. As I said, it's from 1993. It's an Australian film, and it's not going to be for everybody. I'd say look it up, or maybe check a trailer out. I had to get my copy. I watched it online, and when I wanted a physical copy, I could find about 3 copies, and all of them were in Australia. And considering the postage, I think mine didn't cost me any more than £15, and it got here from Australia in no time at all. You know, considering it's coming from the other side of the world. But yeah, Bad Boy Bubby, I don't want to give anything away or spoil it. It starts off, it's about a guy, it looks like he's in his early 40s or late 30s, and basically he lives with his mum, and his mum's kept him living inside, and she's led him to believe that if he leaves the house, you have to wear a gas mask because there's poison and rubbish everywhere. And yeah, without giving anything away, he ends up one day realising that we're all bullshit, and he ends up going out into like the open world. And so this guy's like I said, late 30s or early 40s, the character Bubby, and he's never been outside, and he can't even talk, he can't even form sentences or anything. And the film's, I'm sure it's on for just over 2 hours maybe, and yeah, so it's just Bubby going out, and it's a really weird film. It's a really dark film as well. There's a lot of stuff in it. If you have seen Bad Boy Bubby, let me know and drop me a comment below. But if you're thinking about watching it, like, don't watch it, you know, obviously around kids or anyone that's a bit squeamish, because especially near the start, there's some things there that not everybody might like. But I'm going to recommend it. Yeah, Bad Boy Bubby, that's from 1993. Question number 2, a hidden gem comedy movie. Now, this is not, I really wouldn't call this a hidden gem, but it's a film that I'd say if you haven't seen it, I'd definitely recommend it and go check it out. And not everybody talks about it. I don't see it brought up that much. And that's Dennis the Menace from 1993. I need to get a copy of that myself, because it was one of my favourite films back in the day. Yeah, it's really good, and it's a really funny movie as well. I can remember, what's the guy? Mr. Wilson, is it? I can remember Mr. Wilson, just like half the film's just him shouting at Dennis, and then Dennis ends up going off with that homeless guy who, I think he swallows a key, he eats all those beans, and I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, I'd recommend that, Dennis the Menace from 93. Question number 3, a hidden gem band. I'm going to go with a band called Honey Is Cool. I think these are from Sweden. If anybody knows a band called The Knife, which is Karen Dreer and I forgot her brother's name now. Yeah, before Karen was in the band The Knife, she was in Honey Is Cool. And the best way to describe them is they sound a lot like Bjork and maybe the Sugar Cubes. So yeah, I'd recommend Honey Is Cool. I'd recommend the Sugar Cubes as well, which was Bjork's, I believe, her original band. So yeah, Honey Is Cool, and yeah, the Sugar Cubes. I'll put links to I'll try and remember to go back and put links below to, you know, to all my answers, so you can go check trailers out and songs or whatever. Question number 4, a hidden gem game. I'm going to go with one of my favourite games of all time, one of my favourite retro games. It's a game called Fury of the Furries from 93. I did a review of that ages ago. It's not amazing, but I'll put a link to that below. I'm going to call it hidden gem game because although people seem to, it gets brought up every now and then, I don't think people give it the time of day, and I think a lot of people, maybe even people that had it originally, might have played a few minutes of it and just not really liked the way it controls, because it's hard to describe. But yeah, go check my review out from years ago. It's not good, but it gives you an idea of what the game's like. Yeah, Fury of the Furries. Question 5, a hidden gem comic book. I've never really been into comics. There's one I remember that I owned, that I might still own it. That's Warrior Nun Ariala, or Warrior Nun Ariela. That's the only really thing only comic I can think of that I've not really heard anyone mention. I'll put a link to that below somehow. There must be a website talking about it. 6, a hidden gem novel. I'm not really a big reader of like fiction and stuff, so I think last time I went with, I can't remember what I went with last time, but this time I'm going to go with, and this is from 1993. This is a book called The Shrine of Jeffrey Dahmer. It's a book about the serial killer Dahmer. It's really interesting. It's, if you've seen any of the films or you know anything about him, I just find his life fascinating in a weird way. Like lots of really interesting things, especially how he did kill when he was younger and disposed of the body and got rid of it and everything, and he could have got away with it, but then, you know, years later he got a taste for it again, and well, he got caught. I'm not sure whether he was supposed to get the electric chair, because you'd think the amount of people he killed that it would have, you know, it would have been one of those to get executed, but I think it was another inmate that killed him. I think they sharpened like a toothbrush and just shanked him and, you know, killed him there and then in prison. But yeah, it's a really good book if anyone's into like Jeffrey Dahmer. Some of the books are a bit shit, but The Shrine of Jeffrey Dahmer is a really good one. I'd recommend that. I'll try and put some sort of links to that below. Number 7, a hidden gem TV show. I'm going to go with a show called Reboot. This was a kids show back when I was young in the 90s. And I'll call it hidden gem because not a lot of people might remember it, because it actually got pulled from TV. A lot of people complained about it. They said that it weren't suitable for kids. A lot of complaints. I remember at the time, I'm sure somebody, I can't remember which channel it used to be on, but I'm sure somebody like explained why it had been pulled, or it were like on the news or something. But yeah, they said that the characters were inappropriate for kids. They were a really spooky looking thing with a jester mask, and the whole thing was CGI, or like it were all like digital animation, you know. It wasn't your regular just normal animation. It was just really dark. And yeah, I'll put a link to a clip of that below so you can go check it out. It was a show called Reboot, and although some countries got it, we in the UK got it for not long at all. As I said, there were complaints and it just got pulled and they never talked about it again. Yep, so I'll just have a quick drink. And last but not least, question number 8, a hidden gem comedy TV show. Now, with the 90s, this is a hard question to answer because I can't think of many comedy shows in the 90s that I would call hidden gems, because most of them were just really well known. The 90s were a good time for comedy, actually, not just because I was a kid then, but you know, there were a lot of good stuff on, and so I really fought as hard as I could, and the best thing I could come up with is a show. It used to be on late night Channel 4 in the early hours of the morning, you know, like 1-2 o'clock, and it's a show called Pets, and it were an adult show made with puppets, and I think the episodes were like no longer than 10 minutes long, and it had foul language. There were a parrot that like swore a lot. I think the parrot were like transsexual or something. I can't remember, but I think there might have been a trans character or a trans puppet in it, and all the puppets were animals as well, by the way, as if you can't tell by the name Pets. I haven't seen any clips on YouTube, so if I can't find a clip of it just to show you, I'll put a link below to like a page about it, because I know there's at least a wiki page about it, because I looked ages ago. Yeah, that's a show called Pets, and if anybody remembers that, let me know below. It might have just been a UK thing. I can't imagine it being anywhere else, and I'm sure it was Channel 4, because like, there's no other channel in the UK that had put that on. So there, yeah, I hope that's not been too long, and again Ian, I'm sorry for the late response. At least I managed to get round to it now and do it though. So yeah, that's 8 questions, and like I said, I encourage as many people as possible to go and do a VR to this, because I don't remember seeing anybody else do one, and yeah, it'd be nice of you. So yeah, 8 questions there from Bangkokian1967. I will put a link to his channel below. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.